the Pod Network Entertainment.
Hi, this is Baus Rufo and welcome to Kaya Pa Ba? In this episode, I talk to fellow improv lover and TikTok sensation Aryn Cristobal. We talk about the undeniable magic of improv and how it has informed the many eras of our lives. Eras tour yarn. Enjoy this episode with Aryn Cristobal. Hello everyone, welcome to Kaya Pa Ba with Baus Rufo, and for today's episode, I have somebody very, very special. Baka familiar siya sa mga nagtitrending na video sa TikTok ng mga improv and all that. Please welcome Aryn Cristobal.
Hello. Hi, Baus. Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So, hi Aryn. So, kamusta ka today, sis?
Today, I feel good because other than this is a rest day.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
It's a rest day para sa ating mga freelancers, content creators who also
Correct.
do live shows. Mondays are now actually the sacred day of the
It's
week.
true.
Yes.
It's I don't know what my weekends are anymore because my weekends sometimes are Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday. Hindi na talaga siya Saturday, Sunday.
Correct. So perfect pala yung name ng show na Kaya Pa Ba?
Kaya.
So,
kaya pa naman.
Kaya pa bang humanap ng weekend?
At this point, medyo mahirap, but I have tried to turn some gigs into vacations. So Spit and I have been going around for a while, like Cebu, and we went to Subic.
Yes, I
Oo.
saw that.
Correct. So we try as much as we can na after the show or before the show, bakasyon muna to. We're all friends. Let's enjoy this. So okay pa naman.
Okay. But in case mga taong hindi pa po nakakaalam, so Spit, Silly People's Improv Theater is
Correct.
the premier improv group in the country. They've been so for 2 decades na,
Oh.
almost 2 decades.
Well, we started in 2002.
Oh my God. So you were part of the founding members? The
No.
pioneer group? Hindi.
Nasa high school pa ako.
Sa high
noon.
school ka pa. Kaya parang masyadong
Oo
bata
nga.
si Aryn noong 2002.
But I entered in 06, which was my last year of college. So technically, lumaki din ako with improv.
Correct. Now, improv is, I would like to say, having a renaissance era, or maybe this is the golden era of
Spit,
improv.
Of improv, mukhang.
Mas golden than renaissance, right? Kasi parang this
Oo.
is, I think, the best the improv scene has kind of been.
Correct.
And being part of Spit and being part of Third World Improv, which is basically the improv school in the Philippines kung saan po ako gumraduate.
Yes.
Yung school po na yun ang may kasalanan kung bakit po tayo nagka-podcast bigla.
Yes.
No, but how is that like? Parang seeing it finally
Oh my.
nag-correct na lahat ng dots.
It is amazing because I've talked about this before on my TikToks. Spit has been around since 2002. I entered in 06. And for many, many years, every time we do a show, kailangan namin i-explain, okay, hindi po ito stand-up.
Correct.
Hindi din kami nang-o-okray ng mga tao.
Correct.
Improv is like this.
Correct.
So the intro would be so long and we'd have to do it every week kasi
God.
hindi talaga alam ng mga tao yung gagawin namin. So, for a while, tanggap namin na, alright, I guess we'll have to do this forever, na we have to explain, and then some people still won't understand. For a while, we also thought na, walang pera dito, but we love it. It's so fun. So, let's keep doing it. Let's keep doing it. And it has been my dream for many years, for one day, people to recognize Spit and watch improv for what it is. Because mas unang umangat yung stand-up eh.
Correct.
So, we were waiting for our time and
You waited
I
a
think-
long time.
A long time, my gosh. And it's so nice to see that people of all generations now
Yes.
are enjoying what we
Yes.
put out on the internet.
Correct. I personally have to thank you and Spit for me just being a happier person. So, I know this is about you, but this is also my show, so I can always make it about me
Absolutely.
anytime I want.
Yes.
But I'm just going to share with you like ang journey ko with improv and Spit in general. So, if you joined in 06, una kong na-experience ang Spit in 2007.
Wow.
Meron silang parang sa Ateneo, merong parang freshman's night paandar, and si Gabe, of course, ang punong abala nun. You guys parang did a show there, and literally I was watching magic unfold in front of me.
I love
And I was like, putang ina, gusto kong matuto nun.
Was this the outdoor stage?
Yes, or parang I think a roof deck of Kolaiko or something.
Right. Yes. Okay,
yes,
I remember
I think
this.
you remember. And so parang I was like, and that time, hindi ko nga sure kung tipong nakikinig ba lahat ng mga freshmen or isa lang ako sa tipong nerd na tipong, oh my God, parang ang gusto ko sabihin sa kanila, guys, are you not witnessing the rock starry stage in front of us? And that time, I was so deeply moved. Like, I am not kidding.
I love it.
So I was so moved by that performance. And eventually, I think, for like a Filipino 14 paper, for some strange reason, I was able to sell to my teacher na I would like to write about improv. Na parang, okay, which I used as an excuse to watch you sa Magnet Cafe in BGC. So I'm telling you, like, my love and my relationship with spit and improv goes back like way back.
As in, bata ka pa.
Correct. And it was just yung kilig na nai-experience ng mga tao ngayon na parang they see magic in front of them happen instantaneously. Na parang people don't even have to try so hard. It's just a matter of parang tapping into their own power, and that is improv. It's just, I've always seen it as early as 2007, and now I'm just really so happy.
I love it. And you know what you said earlier about the magic unfolding in front of your eyes, that's something that intimidates some people. Pero for you, sabi mo, you wanted to learn it. That's also how I felt when I first saw improv.
Oh my God. So, yung first improv, tell us about the first improv show you received from the
Correct.
universe.
So, Missy was a teacher in Ateneo already. So, I knew who she was. Nag-sit in ako sa class niya dati. An ex-boyfriend brought me to Spit and said, I think you'll enjoy this. And when I watched it, sabi ko, oh, this is like, whose line is it anyway? I used to see this in Star World.
Oh my God. The reference,
Diba?
Star World.
Star World.
Correct.
So, when Missy saw me, she recognized me. Kinausap niya ako. And she said, we're having a workshop for people who want to try improv. Baka you wanna go. Dito lang din sa Katipunan. So, after school on Tuesdays, I would go to Gabe Mercado's old house. And all of Spit would be there. And as a sheltered Ayala Alabang girlie, hindi ko akalain na magkakakaibigan ako of different ages and different backgrounds. Very sheltered, no? So just that, I was already impressed. Oh, okay. They're willing to listen to a 19-year-old Alabanger and have me perform with them. So consistent na yon. Sabi nila, okay, if you wanna continue, just keep coming. Na-enjoy ko. I kept going. But I also knew that I was bad.
Oh, okay.
Masakit yon. Knowing, because you're doing everything. And the thing is, at that time, wala kaming teaching curriculum.
Oh, unlike
Trial
now
and
na talagang,
error.
Talagang surgical na yung approach in
Correct.
teaching the improv students.
In fact, now, when you see a scene and it doesn't work, madadiagnose mo na, ito kasi yung nangyari.
wow, meron na talaga tayong kompleto ang documentation.
Correct.
Okay.
Dati, trial and error. And yung feedback na makukuha ko was, you know what, Aryn? You're doing everything technically right eh. It's just not funny. Ganon!
Wait lang, which is very interesting because
Yes.
the way I learned improv sa Third World Improv in 2017, the goal is to not be funny. But ganon ka iba yung times and climate that
Yes.
funny was the objective.
Correct.
Oh.
Because at that time, wala pa kaming long form na ginagawa. When we do long form, ang pangit-pangit. Kasi nga, hindi namin alam kung paano siya gawin properly.
Oh my God.
So we hated long form. Sabi namin, di namin kaya yan. It sucks. And then eventually...
Sorry, para po sa aming mga listeners,
Yes,
long
sorry.
form is basically, kung nakita niyo yung mga games sa TikTok, short form yon.
Correct.
Long form, long scenes, minsan related, minsan hindi. But mga roughly at least 20 minutes.
Correct.
Right?
So
Okay.
para siyang one-act play. It's a few scenes na nagtatahe at the end. So we couldn't do that before. It was so bad. And then we started taking workshops and we started reading more about it and iba-iba yung mga values.
Of course.
If you know, so there are a lot of schools of thought for improv, especially in the US, and different techniques and tools. We sort of discovered it by trial and error and by accident. So when we started taking workshops abroad, which we did as a group, we went abroad, na-validate yung, ganito pala siya.
I love it.
And then we realized, pwede pala siyang ituro, which is why Third World Improv is doing very well now. Because if people are intimidated by it, we always tell them it's very learnable. And you can agree.
Yeah, I mean, I am, no joke, mas na-weaponize at mas na-monetize ko ang aking improv education kaysa sa aking Ateneo education.
Correct.
And I'm not kidding there.
Yeah,
It's-
it really helps you be your true self.
Yeah. Wow, sorry. Parang I have so many questions all of a
Yes,
sudden.
go
parang
ahead.
gusto kong gumawa ng parang documentary ng paano nabuo yung syllabus ng Third World Improv.
Yes.
But great thing that you mentioned, yung parang trial and error, and then eventually the theory validated it. Because that's basically how I learned improv from my improv teacher, si Ding Dong. Ang approach na is, gawin nyo muna. And then I will connect the theories, concepts, kung sa anong ginawa nyo. Which is, yun rin yung nagustuhan ko sa improv in terms of just like being more confident with myself is nakahanap ako ng learning environment that best suits my learning style. Magkaiba
Right.
kasi yun eh. 'Di ba? I mean, it has to be like the perfect combination of the teacher, the space, the technique, and the actual product. And
Correct.
I'm sure there were a lot of times before na you kind of asked, kaya pa ba tong improv? Siguro like pre-social media,
Oh, yeah.
when the gigs were few and far between versus now na you guys are doing at least 3 gigs in a week. Can you take us through that very sensitive, delicate time that you almost considered parang quitting?
I'm interested to know how you know about that. Charot. It's true. So for a while, especially after the pandemic, or no, pre-pandemic, napapagod na kami as spit because the manpower that went into the school and into the teaching and then into the shows, parang hindi na kami nagka-time to do the weekly shows.
Yes,
As you know,
yeah.
diba? And we were so ready to be like, well, no one wants to head this. So, okay lang yan. Parang para sa amin, the school is building more groups. Okay na yon.
Okay.
So we were ready to just be like, well, Gabe moved to Baguio, diba? Kenneth and Happy moved abroad. Maliksi took a leave. A lot of our
Oh my God, talaga
naglagas
palang
kami.
nalagas talaga yung
Oo.
I mean, yun yung spit in my head in 2016, 2017.
Diba?
Yeah.
So, all of us were just like, well, if we get more members, will it be worth it? Kasi mukhang nagda-die down na. But the moment we got our newest 4 members, si Papu, Ae, Carl, Cara, Angelica, we got 5
Yeah,
members,
yeah.
right? They were the driving force
Yeah.
to bring us where we are
Correct,
today.
yeah.
I have to be thankful. Kasi a lot of people are very resistant to bringing in younger people, but we recognize that the younger people know how to bring us out there more and to make us seem more valuable, diba? So, pagpasok nila, biglang, whoa! Everyone was willing to do something. Everyone was willing to take charge. So, and Papu was the one who said, we have to put our stuff online. We've been talking about doing that for the past maybe 7 years. Never namin
I can
ginawa.
actually corroborate that story because
Yeah.
I'm with Papu, Carl, I'm with those 5 in housekeeping. I think when live events were starting to come back in 2021, 2022, they were talking about trying to convince like the older spit folks na parang we have to do socials, and parang sila talagang they made it their like singular goal to be able to get you guys to say yes to socials, and then now it's here.
Yes.
So it's
See, the old people talaga parang, ay, tapos na kami dyan. Masaya na kami dito. Lies. There's always room to grow, and I love that.
I love that. I mean, it took almost 2 freaking decades to do this.
Yes.
I guess my next question would be, why are you the best version of yourself now to parang receive this, I mean, let's call it what it is, fame, recognition, having so many doors open left and right.
Yeah.
Like, why are you the best version of yourself?
Oh my gosh. First of all, this was something that I dreamed of ever since before. Yung talagang lahat ng promo na ginagawa ko, I would do something, let's say, a magazine spread. Spit. Yeah, I do improv comedy. Ganyan. Talagang I was trying to boost
Correct.
this improv industry, and it took so long. And then I realized, even when I went on TikTok, so before Spit got big, I formed the following on TikTok,
Yeah,
diba?
medyo sabay tayo sa TikTok like
Correct.
2020, 2021. Yeah.
2021 ako,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. And even through that following, talagang, kasi yung improv ganito. Wala pa rin. I mean, merong konting pumasok. But now that Spit's stuff is being put online, and our editor, I have to say, Kobe Chong,
Yes.
is a genius. He manages to edit it in a way that you guys who watch feel like nandun kayo, because he gets the reactions of the other people on stage. He gets people's reactions, all the sounds. Parang you're immersed
Yeah.
in the experience. And I think that's why we were hesitant before. Kasi kung tripod lang yan,
Hindi
at-
talaga siya andar.
Oo,
Oo.
the way we were gonna edit it was just like, okay, nandyan lang siya, and then hindi siya gumagalaw.
Yeah.
Very boring.
Yeah. Yeah, like being in production, alam ko rin na parang hindi talaga makaka-capture nung parang one-cam setup yung like improv. And I've seen, I mean, I also know Kobe, of course. I've seen how your parang documentation and production team kind of capture everything. Medyo, matinding choreography siya. Like, 3 cameras. Tapos may sound. And
May lapels na kami.
Yes, yeah.
Individual sounds. So this
Yeah.
was something that, again, the old Spit, tamad na kami dyan. Wala na kaming alam dyan sa sound and video. So when we started generating more money, we decided, you know what? It is worth hiring people who we know already are good at their jobs.
Correct.
So when we got Kobe, wala.
Yeah.
That's when it really blew up.
yeah. Yeah. So
So it's a team
it's
effort.
a team. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the biggest realization, no? It's parang, kind of can't do it alone.
Yes.
And it's also like very aligned with like the improv things that you've taught us. In terms of just make your partner look good. It's always a team effort.
Asking for help is okay.
Asking for help is okay.
Yeah.
But naging teacher kita when I enrolled in musical improv class.
That was so fun.
That was so fun. I think that was like the last workshop I attended before the pandemic. That was like
Yes.
late 2019.
Correct.
So you've taught so many students. What are things that you continue to learn every time you like meet a fresh batch of hungry
Yeah.
improv newbies?
Something that I've learned is that every single person is different. Every single person will process information in their own way. So it's your job as a teacher to try to encapsulate everything na parang hindi niya ako naiintindihan. Maybe if they experience it first, makukuha nila. Or maybe by watching me, hindi sila it doesn't process. Maybe if I speak better. So even just teaching makes me improve on things that I didn't think needed improvement before. So in my case, I learned to be a better communicator as best as I could, diba? Na okay, really evaluate how will they understand this exercise more. And also what I learned is people will learn at different paces. Yung tipong, like, okay, my favorite example is Miss Dan Labordo.
Oh my God.
Miss Dan Labordo was my student and for a year, and she is the teammate of Baus. Level 1 Dan is not the Dan you know today.
Talaga.
Level 1 Dan used to hide behind her best friend Jill.
Oh my God!
And then you try to talk to her, medyo nagtatago pa siya. And so I was like, how do I get this girl out of her shell, right? And it took some time, but by level 3, I was like, who is this? And I think that's the joy of teaching, because you get to see exactly when it hits and parang when it clicks in the student that, I can be myself, and then you see this sudden glow. We were just talking about this with Kara, right?
Yeah.
So there is a certain moment when you click and you have owned who you are and
Correct.
how you play.
Yes.
And it's such a joy to see. So that's something that I learned also. Na parang, wow, it's so fulfilling to see the journey of someone that you have been guiding through improv.
Yeah.
It's not like you're being a therapist or anything
Yeah.
like that. This is just a craft that you know and love, but you're seeing a personal change in the person.
Yeah.
Ang ganda.
And also, that must also feel great when you talked about nga, nung early stages pa of Spit, trying to develop a module before it was even a school, to now seeing your formula work and your formula transform people. That it's talagang so magic talaga yung tawag ko sa kanya. It really is magic. Yun talaga ang tawag ko sa kanya. So, you talked about, the joy of improv. Ako, isa sa mga favorite kong non-joy thing sa improv is meron tayong principle na parang fail as many times as you can in the shortest time possible. Parang for me, yun yung perfect learning environment. So, what has improv taught you about failure? Having experienced it in the classroom and then with your students, parang how do you kind of make failure your bitch?
It's so funny because I would tell my students also na don't be afraid to fail, but if you do, fail with pizzazz.
Ooh! I want that. Wrong and strong, sabi
diba?
nga. Yeah.
Na parang, why are you so afraid to make a mistake? And when I tell my students that, and I ask them genuinely, why? Because nakakahiya. Kanino? Kanino ka nahihiya dito when all of us here are on the same playing field and are all willing to fail?
Ganda.
Diba?
Parang gusto ko mag-enroll ulit.
Diba? That's something that I love about the culture of improv. Yung parang, kung magkamali ka, okay lang. Sasamahan ka namin. Diba? Let's all make that mistake together.
Love that. Wow. So talagang being liberated by just everything that doesn't serve you anymore.
Yes. Because letting go, something doesn't last long anyway. When you make a mistake and it stays in your head for a long time, nasa sayo na yan. Everyone else forgot it. Diba? The way that our attention span has been tweaked by social media. If one person makes a mistake today, in 2 days, another person made one already.
Yeah.
So, you're gonna forget it.
So that's, reason 97, bakit kailangan yung mag-enroll sa improv. You will encounter so many failures in just trying to make a scene or trying to work with someone that eventually you will be less scared of it. And I think that's also like one of the greatest things na improv taught me.
Agreed.
So you mentioned yun nga, like the liberation, the shedding away of the old skin. So now we're gonna talk about more you, Aryn, the content creator.
Yeah.
Now, you've been very vocal on TikTok about just being more yourself, letting go of the shame, always revisiting, maybe programming that doesn't serve you anymore. Is improv somehow related to your personal evolution?
Absolutely. As I said earlier, 19 pa lang ako when I entered improv. And I feel like that really shaped who I am today. And I've had friends tell me before na, bakit Aryn, every time you enter a room, you are still you. When me, for example, as a mom, I'm different. As an office worker, I'm different. When I'm facing someone else, it changes.
Wow.
Pero ikaw, pareho ka in all aspects. I think that's because at a young age, I was already taught to yes and. 19 is very young.
Yeah.
Diba?
But also very moldable if you think about it. Yeah.
And if I was moldable at that age and what entered my mind was all these concepts of yes and being yourself, then syempre, when you reach your 20s, ikaw na yun. You get to develop that pretty early. So I feel like improv definitely helped me with concepts like letting go of the past and things that you've done before. I have beat myself up a lot over the dumbest things, and I'm sure you have.
Yeah, and you're also very transparent about it. Your broadcast channel, sometimes when you have like a bad improv day, you tell everyone, and I think it's so healthy to just kind of really properly metabolize shame and guilt in that moment, para after that you're free of it already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you say that, I'm very vocal about this and things like that. It's because I had to go through a lot of things to realize all of this.
Ano-ano ito, syempre?
Marami. Like, let's say, bad shows.
Of course.
Imagine going through bad shows at the tender age of 20 years old.
Oh my God. When wala ka pang strong sense of identity and what you bring to the table. That's tough.
Diba?
That's
so,
tough.
to have bad shows that early on in your career, na parang, do I still want to do this? But I still wanted to.
Yeah.
I think that's how I knew I wanted to do improv forever. Kasi alam kong, ang pangit ng ginawa mo kanina, Aryn, pero meron pang next week. It wasn't something that made me quit.
I love it. So, like, let's dig deeper. So that voice in your head, nung bata ka when, you know, you had a bad show, and like, may isa pang show next week. What else kept you going?
What else kept me going?
Was it just really the promise of being able to do it again the following week?
It was, well, first of all, I found it fun. Even if it was a bad show, I know that when I'm doing improv, I'm having fun. So that was one. And another one is, Kara was actually the one who mentioned this earlier. If you are so bad at something, that just means that you have more chances to grow.
Ooh.
Diba?
Ooh.
Ang ganda na, diba?
I received that
diba?
with every fiber of my being.
If you're bad, it's only because you have more potential to learn and grow.
I love it. That's so great. And you know, you being like a content creator, you've been vocal about
All kinds.
all kinds. Parang now you're not married, you don't have kids, but arguably you are a better version of yourself every day.
That's true.
How do you navigate this now in terms of like the friendships you've kept who now have families, who don't have the luxury of being able to have parang a creative expression like improv? How do you navigate yung gantong friendships and relationships?
Well, I have a lot of friends who have families and we try to see each other all the time. But I know that as the one without the family, medyo nasa akin yun because they are busy. But what's good about it is high school barkada ko sila eh. So they will always make time. Yung tatawag lang ko, oh, I'm going to Alabang. Are you busy? Come to the house. Punta ka sa bahay. And as much as I love them and their children, medyo mas na validate yung decision ko sa buhay na, alam mo, I'll just be the fun tita. I'll be here with you.
I love it. My God. And it's nice to have the gift of time kind of make you realize that na actually tama yung decision na ginawa ko na maybe 10 years ago, I'm sure people were like, or maybe your relatives were like,
absolutely.
ano na dear, ano
Correct.
na.
And the thing is, I am enjoying also this time of society where women are no longer being shamed for that.
Yeah.
This was not unheard of. So if you're in your 20s now, you are freer than you were when I was in my 20s, diba? Laging may, oh, I want a grandchild na, I want this and that. And then society has progressed in the past maybe 6-7 years na, you know what? Let's normalize these women who don't want that lifestyle. And yung nagagalit na yung society na, don't pressure girls to get married early.
Yeah.
And then there are these new terms like grooming, gaslighting. I feel like this is great progress for humanity na we are labeling these things so that we know that they are not helpful to our growth.
Yeah.
Ganda.
And it's really great that we have language na for these things now. What is one thing now na because you have the language for it na, you are just gentler to yourself?
Oh my gosh, what is something? Well, I feel like naging uso yung self-care in the past couple of years. Again, unheard of.
Yeah.
Before it was, if you don't want children, you're selfish.
Oh my
You're so
God.
selfish. Pero ngayon talagang, okay, take care of yourself before you have a child so
Correct.
that it's a good environment. So when self-care came in and everyone was like, you should go to therapy, it's important to know yourself and do the things that you love, that was something that really helped me. And if I'm able to take care of myself like this, mas better ako sa iba't ibang mga tao. Like I'm more patient to my mom, my boyfriend. When people need to communicate something they don't understand, I'm more patient listening also. So society, I guess, progress has really helped.
Yeah. And I think it all goes back talaga to time, no? Parang you need to build grit eh. And that's very important. But I think when sinabi mo nga you were bumobomba ka sa mga show nyo nung 19 ka, but then you had the grit to just know, you know what, we're gonna keep doing this.
Yes.
And then eventually, you know, like the universe will come around. At
Go with what you love.
Yeah.
I guess would be the
Yeah.
biggest advice I can give you. Even if you think you're not good at it, if you love it enough, you will study. You will work on getting good at it. In content creation, for example, diba? Man, when Baus and I started, what was needed to grow your page was something like 2 to 3 videos a day.
A day.
That's
That was-
hard.
Oh my God. And pinatulan mo yan for a while, ha?
You also?
Oh yeah. Sabi ko parang, paano to ginagawa? Yeah. Then
2 to 3 a
eventually, my
day.
God, thank God, medyo nag-swing yung pendulum to the saner side of things.
Correct. But I remember that was the only way that you
Correct.
could grow your page. And I spoke with... So, okay, I would like to talk about content creators.
Yes, let's.
Content creators. What I love about content creators is when you see each other in public, you will talk to each other.
Correct.
Even if you have not
Correct.
met.
Yes.
Kasi parang I see you on TikTok.
Correct.
Ganun. So I saw si Aaron Maniego. Okay, like early on. And then I was asking him, you know, like, wow, you grew to like 2 million. That was so intense.
He
How
was
did
the
you do
poster
it?
child for that particular app update, right?
Correct.
Of 3 to 5 times a day, yeah.
But he did 25 a day. Alam mo ba yon?
I think I think kasi grabe talaga kinareer niya yun.
Oo. And I got to say, that grit can
Yeah.
only come from youth. Yung hindi ko siya kaya. Yung talagang 25? When I would do 5 a day, pagod na yung utak ko
My
eh. Pagod
God.
na. Imagine. But that's why he is where he is now.
Correct.
That grit.
I think yung mga tayo nung pag-post ng 5 times a day, yun yung mga wala pang event. So parang medyo,
Yes.
baka kayanin kasi my time ngayon, if I do like twice a week, medyo like, guys, bigyan nyo na ako ng ribbon. Kasi ang dami nang nagaganap. Diba?
Correct.
My God. So speaking of that, nagaganap, when you were amassing,
Amazing!
when you were amassing followers nung 2021, and then you've always been someone who wanted to entertain, did you have a plan of like, I think I can do some really good damage here with the following that I'm getting when live events come back, how to propel the next 3 to 5 years of my life? How were you parang strategizing that when you were experiencing a lot of growth?
Well, when we were growing on TikTok, this was during the pandemic. And all of the stuff that I did online was solo stuff. So I would upload solo songs, solo rap, solo improv. And I amassed a following from that. But now that we're coming back to live events, I realized na, parang solo performing pala isn't for me. I did one for Red, right? Red Oliero. That was amazing. Pero yung kaba ko hanggang dito eh. Yung puso ko nandito. Compared to when I'm with Spit, yung parang, okay, I have a team. I'm nervous, pero okay, regulate tayo, guys. Yung mag-isa ka lang, I don't know how you stand-ups do it. Yung puso ko, bug. And I'm not sure if one-on-one, like just by myself, if that kind of performing is for me. So, even though I amassed followers from doing that, at least I know, okay, kaya ko siya technically gawin. But when I do it in public, parang, mag-isa lang ako, I don't know.
Sabi mo nga sa akin kanina before we rolled, Delulu is the soludo.
Delulu is the soludo. Totoo naman.
Pero may limit ang Delulu, I guess.
I think maybe I have just not reached that level of growth yet. Kaya if I push it. But I'm not there yet. I think I'll get there naman.
And I love that you put it in perspective na maybe I'm not there yet.
Yes.
Hindi siya hard no.
Yes.
And I think that's the improviser talking, right?
Yes.
Na parang just always have to be open to the universe,
Correct.
the world.
I used to be the type na if I say never, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and do it sometime in the future. But that all changed because of TikTok. Dati sabi ko talaga, pang bata lang yan. I would never dance on TikTok. Oh my God, never. And then I did, and then it became successful. So sabi ko, you know what? Maybe the things that I am averse to are not necessarily bad, and I could try it one day and enjoy it. So very open. I think improv also helped me become more open to all kinds of experiences.
I love it. And because I think you've always been drawn to, to the spotlight, to performing, to the arts, to the creatives, now na parang mas buo na yung kwento, you teaching improv, you doing improv, you being a content creator, now that it all made sense, ano yung naging relationship mo dun sa mga thoughts mo dati of parang buti hindi ko pinatay yung pangarap na yan. Gets ba? Yeah.
I'm very happy with how things have turned out. And as much as sometimes I joke about having regrets, mukhang hindi. Because every single thing that I've done, every person I have encountered kind of brought something to where I am now. Whether or not bad experience or good experience siya, I was able to take something from it and be who I am today. So, yung mga dreams ko dati, what was my dream? I actually used to dream as a teenager of having a band, and then A to Z comes into my life, right? Sabi ko, wow, one day I want to have a song on Spotify. And then Kobe Chong and Jason Chamberlain come into my life. So I feel like the Lulu is the Solulu, and asking for help will definitely get that Solulu.
Asking for help.
And that's something that as a Capricorn, nahihirapan ako asking for help. I'm very independent. I can do everything on my own. But to be open to asking for help will just, A, make your life easier and probably improve the quality of whatever it is you're doing, because we are social beings as human beings. So it's better that way, I would say.
I love it. So we have reached the end of the program wherein we will ask an older version of yourself. Kakausapin mo siya, magta-travel tayo through time. But in the spirit of asking for help, you mentioned kanina na, right before the pandemic, there was this time na parang medyo parang hindi yun na pinush yung ambitions ng Spit. Diba? What would you tell that version of Aryn, knowing what Aryn knows now?
Aryn, di ba army ka? Di ba blink ka? You will feel what that is like through fan edits. Hahalongkatin yung mga pictures mo nung college ka. Don't you want to feel what it's like to be on the other side? Bilang isang army magiliw and blink, right? You buy all their merch, you print out their pictures and put it in your wallet. Can you imagine if you were on the other side of that? Imagine no more.
And that is why the title of this episode is The Lulu is the Solulu. Oh my God. Thank you, Aryn.
Thank you,
I
Baus.
love this conversation.
I had so much fun.
Thank you so much. So please tell the children where they can follow you.
Hello, children and adults of all ages. My name is Aryn, and you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Arinking. I also have a Facebook page that I don't really follow. But if you want to go where the crowd is at, please go to Spit Manila's Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Spit Manila.
And that's it. Make sure to catch their shows. And if...
Housekeeping Improv also.
Housekeeping Improv. I also have noted... And I mean, marami kaming ganap ni Aryn. I think that's kind of like the improviser starter pack.
Correct.
But if... Basically, this episode sobrang convinced na kayo na kailangan nyo mag-improv. Third World Improv po ang kailangan nyong puntahan.
Yes.
Maraming salamat. Thank you, Aryn.
Thank
I
you,
really
Baus.
love this. Thank you, everyone. This has been Kaya Pa Ba with Baus Rufo and Aryn Cristobal. Yes. Bye!
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.